A millionaire's offer or a night with me. She made her choice under the moon. The full moon hung low over the jagged skyline of Los Angeles, like a silver dollar tossed by some careless god, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement of the alley behind the Viper Room. Jamie's heart hammered in her chest, each beat echoing the distant thrum of bass from inside the club, where dreams were born and buried every night. She leaned against the graffiti-scarred wall, the cool brick biting into her back through her thin tank top, and lit a cigarette with trembling fingers. The smoke curled up, mixing with the salty tang of ocean air drifting in from the west, but it did nothing to steady her. In her pocket, the note burned like a brand. $1 million. One night. Meet me at the Chateau Marmont tomorrow. Victor Hale. Victor Hale. The name alone made her stomach twist. A knot of ambition and revulsion. He was the king of indie labels, the man who turned raw talent into platinum records, who whispered fortunes into the ears of wide-eyed artists like her. 25 years old, scraping by on tips from open mics and crashing on friends' couches, Jamie had clawed her way through 1,000 auditions, her voice raw from screaming lyrics into indifferent microphones. This offer. It was the ladder out of hell. But the price. God, the price. She exhaled a shaky breath, the smoke stinging her eyes, and glanced at her phone. 2:17 a.m. Riley would be waiting up, probably pacing the tiny studio apartment they shared in Echo Park, the one with the leaky faucet that dripped like a metronome of their shared failures. Riley, with her easy laugh and calloused hands from steaming lattes all day, had been Jamie's anchor since that rainy night 2 years ago at a dive bar poetry slam. One glance across the smoke-hazed room, and it was like the world tilted, pulling them together in a crash of whispered confessions and stolen kisses. But lately the strain showed. Rent checks bouncing, Jamie's late nights chasing gigs leaving Riley alone with her doubts. "You're gonna make it, babe," Riley would say, her voice soft as worn flannel, but Jamie heard the crack in it, the fear that love couldn't pay the bills. A car horn blared from Sunset Boulevard, jolting her. She stubbed out the cigarette under her boot, the ember hissing like a dying promise, and started walking. The city pulsed around her, neon signs flickering like faulty heartbeats, the distant wail of sirens underscoring the chaos. By the time she pushed open the door to their building, sweat slicked her skin despite the chill, and her throat felt tight, words lodging there like thorns. Riley was curled on the sagging couch, a half-empty mug of chamomile tea cooling on the coffee table, the scent of honey and herbs faint in the air. Her dark curls spilled over the armrest, and in the lamplight, her face looked younger, vulnerable, the faint freckles across her nose standing out like stars. She stirred as Jamie kicked off her boots, the thud echoing too loud in the quiet space. "You're home," Riley murmured, sitting up, her voice thick with sleep and something heavier. "Worry." She reached out, fingers brushing Jamie's arm, warm and steady, pulling her down onto the couch. Jamie collapsed into her, burying her face in the crook of Riley's neck, inhaling the familiar mix of vanilla body wash and coffee grounds that clung to her skin. Riley's arms wrapped around her, strong from hauling milk crates at the cafe, holding her like she might shatter. "Bad night?" Riley asked, her breath warm against Jamie's ear, fingers tracing lazy circles on her back. The touch sent a shiver through Jamie, a reminder of tangled sheets, and whispered, "I love yous," in the dark. Jamie pulled back just enough to meet her eyes, those deep brown pools that always saw too much. "The audition. It was shit. They said my voice has edge but no polish. Like I'm some rough diamond they can't be bothered to cut." Lies tasted bitter on her tongue, but the truth? It would poison everything. She leaned in, capturing Riley's lips in a kiss that started soft, seeking comfort, then deepened hungry, tongues brushing in a rhythm that spoke of desperation. Riley responded with a soft sigh, her hands sliding under Jamie's shirt, palms rough against smooth skin, igniting sparks that chased away the cold. They moved like that for what felt like hours, bodies pressing close on the narrow couch, the creak of springs a quiet accompaniment to their gasps and murmurs. Riley's nails grazed Jamie's sides, drawing a low moan from deep in her chest, and for a moment the world narrowed to this. The heat of skin on skin, the salty taste of sweat, the way Riley's breath hitched when Jamie's fingers found the curve of her hip. It was messy, real, the kind of love that bruised as much as it healed. But as they lay tangled afterward, chests heaving, the moon's glow slipping through the blinds like an intruder, the note in Jamie's pocket felt heavier. Riley traced idle patterns on Jamie's stomach, her voice a whisper in the dark. "Whatever happens, Jay, we've got this. You and me against the city." Jamie swallowed hard, throat clicking dryly, and forced a smile Riley couldn't see. "Yeah, you and me." But sleep evaded her, the city's hum seeping through the thin walls, a reminder that dreams had teeth. Morning came too soon, sunlight slicing through the curtains like accusations. Jamie woke to the smell of sizzling bacon, Riley humming an old Joan Baez tune in the kitchenette. She padded in barefoot, the linoleum cool under her feet, and wrapped her arms around Riley from behind, chin resting on her shoulder. Riley leaned back, fitting perfectly against her, the domesticity a balm against the storm brewing inside. "Go get him today," Riley said, flipping a pancake with a flourish, the sizzle popping like tiny fireworks. "That open mic at the Troubadour? It's your night." Jamie nodded, kissing the nape of her neck, savoring the warmth. But as she dressed later, pulling on her best jeans and the faded band tee that hugged her curves, the note crinkled again. Victor Hale. 1 million. One night. The words looped in her mind, a siren's call amid the clatter of breakfast plates. She left with a quick peck, the door clicking shut behind her like a gavel. The walk to the bus stop was a blur of palm trees swaying in the breeze, the air thick with jasmine and exhaust. On the rattling bus, she stared out at the sprawl of billboards touting stars she'd never be, and felt the weight settle deeper. By noon she was at a coffee shop near Hollywood Boulevard, nursing a black coffee that burned her tongue, scrolling through Victor's bio on her cracked phone screen. Tycoon. Philanthropist to the arts. Closet predator, if the whispers were true. But the money. It could buy studio time, tours, a real life for her and Riley. No more evictions, no more Riley's tired eyes at dawn. Her phone buzzed. A text from Riley. "Miss you already. Knocking dead. Love you." Heart emoji. Jamie's chest ached a sharp twist and she typed back. "Love you more. Always." But her thumb hovered over delete, the lie too close to the surface. The day dragged, open mic a disaster of nerves and feedback squeals, her set cut short by a heckler in the back. She fled to the rooftop of her friend's building, the city lights twinkling below like fallen stars, and pulled out the note again. The paper was soft from her fidgeting, ink smudged but legible. Tomorrow. Chateau Marmont. The legendary hotel loomed in her mind, all glamour and ghosts, where deals were sealed in shadowed suites. Night fell heavy, the moon rising full and mocking. Jamie paced the apartment, Riley out for a late shift, the silence broken only by the drip-drip of the faucet. She poured a glass of cheap red wine, the tartness coating her throat, and sank onto the bed, head in hands. Images flashed. Riley's smile, Victor's rumored smirk, the stage lights blinding her to everything but applause. A sob escaped, raw and unbidden, echoing off the peeling wallpaper. When Riley got home at midnight, key scraping in the lock, Jamie was curled under the covers feigning sleep. Riley slipped in beside her, body warm and inviting, pressing a kiss to her shoulder. "Rough day, huh?" she whispered, voice laced with concern. Jamie turned, pulling her close, their legs entwining like roots. "Just tired." The lie hung between them, but Riley didn't push, just held her tighter, breath evening out into sleep. Jamie lay awake, listening to the city's nocturnal symphony, the moon's light painting silver stripes across Riley's face. Choice. It loomed like a blade ready to sever. By dawn, resolve cracked. She slipped from bed, the sheets whispering against her skin, and stood at the window, watching the sun bleed orange over the hills. The note was in her hand, crumpled now. Tear it up, she thought. Walk away. But the what-ifs clawed at her. What if this was the break? What if Riley deserved better than ramen nights and broken promises? The day blurred into preparation, a borrowed dress from a friend that clung too tight, makeup hiding the shadows under her eyes. Riley noticed, of course, over hurried toast. "You look Fancy. Hot date with destiny. Jamie laughed, brittle, forcing lightness. Something like that. Networking gig. Wish me luck. Riley's eyes searched hers, a flicker of unease, but she smiled, leaning in for a kiss that lingered, soft and searching. Luck's got nothing on you. Come home to me tonight. The words pierced, a vow Jamie wasn't sure she could keep. The cab ride to the chateau was a descent, the opulent lobby swallowing her whole, marble floors echoing her heels like judgments. Victor waited in the bar, silver-haired and sharp-suited, his smile all teeth as he rose. Jamie, the voice of the next generation. They talked music, dreams, the industry beast. His eyes roamed, proprietary, and when the offer came, low-voiced over cognac that warmed her veins, it was velvet-wrapped steel. One night, darling. Discreet. And that million funds your album, your tour, your empire. Her pulse thundered, the room spinning with scents of leather and aged wood. Revulsion rose, bile in her throat, but ambition whispered sweet nothings. She thought of Riley waiting, trusting. The moon would rise again tonight, full witness. Jamie's fingers tightened around the stem of her glass, the crystal cool and unyielding against her palm, as Victor's words settled like lead in the pit of her stomach. The bar at the Chateau Marmont hummed with low chatter, clink of ice in tumblers, the faint jazz saxophone weaving through the air like smoke from a forgotten cigarette. But all she heard was the roar in her ears, a tidal wave crashing against the fragile dam of her resolve. You're serious, she said, voice barely above a whisper, though it came out steadier than she felt. Her eyes flicked to his, steel gray and calculating, framed by lines etched from too many deals in dimly lit rooms. Victor leaned back, swirling his drink, the amber liquid catching the chandelier's glow. Deadly. Think of it, Jamie. No more scraping for gigs in basements that smell like stale beer and regret. Studios in the valley, producers at your beck and call. You'd be untouchable. His smile widened, predatory, as if he could taste her hesitation, savor it like fine scotch. She swallowed, throat dry despite the sip she'd taken, the burn lingering on her tongue. Images assaulted her. Spotlights hot on her face, crowds chanting her name, Riley in the front row, eyes shining with pride instead of quiet worry. A house, maybe, with a yard and mornings without alarm clocks screaming debt. But the cost. His hand implied on her skin. A night of feigned passion, her body a currency for dreams. I need to think, she murmured, standing abruptly, chair scraping against the polished floor like a nails on chalkboard screech. Victor's brow arched, amusement flickering, but he nodded, sliding a card across the table. Black embossed gold. Sunset. Penthouse. Don't keep me waiting. The elevator ride down was a blur, mirrors reflecting her flushed cheeks, smudged lipstick from nervous biting. Outside, the afternoon sun beat down, palm fronds rustling in a hot breeze that carried the scent of eucalyptus and tar. She hailed a cab, collapsing into the back seat, the vinyl sticking to her thighs through the dress. Echo Park, she rasped, and the driver nodded, radio crooning some old Springsteen tune about thunder roads and glory days. Traffic crawled, horns blaring in staccato fury, giving her too much time to spiral. What would Riley say? No, she couldn't know. Not ever. The secret would fester, a poison between them turning kisses sour. But silence was its own betrayal. By the time the cab jolted to a stop outside their building, sweat beaded her forehead, and her hands shook as she paid. Riley was home early, shift cut short by a slow pour. She lounged on the fire escape, sketchpad in lap, charcoal smudging her fingers as she captured the alley cats below. The sight hit Jamie like a gut punch, Riley's profile soft in the golden light, curls tied back with the bandana, lost in her art the way Jamie lost herself in song. Barista by day, aspiring illustrator by night, Riley poured her soul into margins, dreaming of gallery walls instead of cafe chalkboards. Hey, stranger, Riley called, spotting her, setting the pad aside with a grin that lit her face. She swung inside, pulling Jamie into a hug that smelled of graphite and sun-warmed cotton. How'd the networking go? Spill. Jamie forced a laugh, burying her face in Riley's hair, inhaling deeply to ground herself. Boring suits and schmoozing. But promising leads. Another lie stacking like bricks in her chest. She pulled back, cupping Riley's face, thumbs brushing her cheeks. God, I missed you. Riley's eyes sparkled, mischief dancing. Missed me, huh? Prove it. She tugged Jamie toward the bedroom, playful. But the undercurrent was there. The need to connect after a day apart. They tumbled onto the bed. Laughter bubbling as clothes shed in a heap. The afternoon light slanting across bare skin. Riley's touches were reverent. Lips trailing fire down Jamie's collarbone. Eliciting gasps that filled the room like music. You're beautiful, Riley whispered against her thigh, voice husky. Hands mapping curves with the precision of an artist. Jamie arched, fingers threading through curls, the world dissolving into sensation. The tickle of breath, the slide of tongue, the creak of the mattress under shifting weight. Climax built slow, then crashed, leaving them breathless, limbs entwined, hearts sinking in the quiet aftermath. Lying there, Riley's head on her chest, Jamie traced the tattoo on her lover's shoulder. A small crescent moon inked during their first road trip to Big Sur. Remember that night on the beach? She murmured, voice thick. Waves crashing, you singing off-key to the stars. Riley chuckled, vibration humming through Jamie's ribs. How could I forget? You promised we'd make it big, buy a van, tour the coast till the wheels fell off. She propped up on an elbow, gaze intense. Still believe that? Jamie hesitated, a fraction too long, and Riley's brow furrowed. Gee? What's wrong? Nothing, Jamie said quickly, too quickly, pulling her down for a kiss to silence the doubt. But inside, turmoil raged. The sun dipped lower, painting the room in amber. And as Riley dozed, Jamie slipped out, padding to the kitchen for water. The fridge hummed, a lonely sentinel, and she leaned against the counter, staring at Victor's card under the magnet shaped like a guitar pick. Evening crept in, the city awakening with its neon pulse. They made love again, slower this time, faces inches apart, breaths mingling in sighs and soft pleas. Riley's eyes locked on hers, vulnerable, whispering I love you like a prayer. Jamie echoed it, meaning every syllable, but the words twisted, laced with the unspoken. Dinner was takeout, tacos from the truck down the block, spicy and messy, eaten cross-legged on the floor with a bottle of beer each, foam spilling over knuckles. They talked dreams, Riley's sketches of urban fairies gaining traction on her Instagram, Jamie's half-written songs begging for completion. Laughter came easy, a brief reprieve, but as night deepened, the moon rose full and luminous through the window, casting ethereal glows. Walk with me, Jamie asked suddenly, heart pounding. Riley nodded, curious, slipping into sneakers, grabbing Jamie's hand. The streets of Echo Park were alive, murals splashing color on brick walls, food trucks steaming with carnitas and elote, laughter spilling from open windows. They wandered to the lake, the water dark and still, reflecting the moon like a mirror to secrets. Riley leaned against the railing, wind tousling her hair, and turned to Jamie with that look, the one that stripped her bare. You've been off all day. Talk to me. Jamie's mouth went dry, pulse thundering in her ears. The air smelled of damp earth and distant jasmine, crickets chirping a tentative chorus. She pulled the note from her pocket, unfolding it with fingers that wouldn't stop shaking. This came last night, after the audition. Riley read, face paling under the moonlight, the paper crinkling in the breeze. Silence stretched, taut as a guitar string, broken only by a distant car stereo thumping bass. $1 million, Riley finally said, voice hollow. For that. Jamie nodded, tears pricking hot. It's everything, Ree. The break I've chased forever. But I can't. Not without you knowing. Not without choosing. Riley's eyes glistened, hands squeezing Jamie's till knuckles whitened. Then choose. Him. Or us. The words hung a precipice. Jamie's chest heaved, a sob escaping raw and ragged. The moon watched, impartial as the choice crystallized, sharp as shattered glass. The lake's surface rippled under a stray breeze, distorting the moon's reflection into fractured silver shards that danced like Jamie's fracturing heart. Riley's question echoed in the night air, sharp as a slap, yet delivered with the gentleness of someone bracing for the blow. Jamie's knees buckled slightly, and she gripped the railing harder, the metal cold and gritty under her palms, grounding her in the moment she wished she could flee. "Ri. Jamie's voice cracked, words tumbling out in a rush, fueled by the wine from dinner and the terror of loss. "It's not just money. It's freedom. No more wondering if the electric bill's paid or if we're eating ramen again because the fridge is empty. I could get you out of that cafe, give you time for your art. Galleries, travel. A life where we don't apologize for wanting more." Riley stepped closer, her scent of charcoal and vanilla cutting through the night's earthy musk, eyes searching Jamie's face with an intensity that peeled back layers. "And what about you? What does it cost you, Jay? Your soul? Our trust?" Her voice trembled, not with anger but hurt, deep and aching like a bruise blooming under skin. Jamie turned away, staring at the water, the distant glow of downtown skyscrapers mocking their smallness. Memories flooded. Their first fight, over a bounce check, ending in tears and makeup sex that left them sore and sated. Lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, Riley's fingers sketching patterns on Jamie's back while she hummed melodies. The night Riley confessed her fear of forever, post coming out to skeptical parents in Ohio, Jamie holding her through sobs that shook the bed frame. "I love you," Jamie whispered, turning back, cupping Riley's face, thumbs wiping at the tear-track silver in the moonlight. "More than songs, more than stages. But this city, it's eating us alive. Victor's offer is a lifeline." Riley leaned into the touch, eyes fluttering shut for a beat, then opening with resolve. "Then take it. But not like this. Not by lying to me, sneaking around like some guilty secret." She pulled away, arms crossing over her chest, defensive, the barista apron strings from earlier still tied loose around her waist like a forgotten uniform. The accusation stung, hot as the tears spilling now down Jamie's cheeks. She paced the path, gravel crunching under her sneakers, the sound amplified in the quiet park. A jogger passed, earbuds in, oblivious, and Jamie envied the ignorance. "What if I say no? We keep scraping, and one day you wake up resenting me for dragging you down. I see it in your eyes sometimes, the exhaustion. I can't be that person." Riley caught her arm, spinning her around, faces inches apart, breaths mingling warm and ragged. "Resent you? God, Jamie, I'd walk through fire for you. But this? Selling yourself to some sleaze in a penthouse? That's not a lifeline. It's a noose." Her voice broke, a hitch like a skipped heartbeat, and she pressed her forehead to Jamie's, the contact electric, grounding. They stood like that, locked in stasis, the moon climbing higher, bathing them in its pale judgment. Jamie's mind raced, scenarios branching like lyrics unfinished. Accept and buy the dream, but lose the girl who made it worth dreaming. Refuse and cling to love, but watch it wither under poverty's grind. The air thickened, crickets falling silent as if holding breath. Finally Riley pulled back, hands sliding to Jamie's waist, fingers digging in with desperate need. "Come home," she said, soft as a plea. "Not to decide. Just be with me tonight. Let the moon sort the rest." Jamie nodded, wordless, letting Riley lead her back through shadowed streets, hand in hand, palms slick with sweat. The apartment door creaked open to the familiar clutter. Sketchpads piled on the table, Jamie's guitar leaning against the wall like a sentinel, the faint scent of yesterday's coffee lingering. They didn't speak, shedding clothes in the hallway, a trail of denim and cotton leading to the bedroom. The bed welcomed them, sheets cool against fevered skin, and they moved with urgency tempered by tenderness. Riley on top, straddling her weight a comforting anchor as she kissed Jamie deeply, tongues exploring with the familiarity of lovers who knew every scar and sigh. Jamie's hands roamed, tracing the dip of Riley's spine, the soft give of hips, eliciting moans that vibrated through them both. "Stay with me," Riley gasped between kisses, grinding slow, building friction that sparked stars behind closed lids. Jamie arched up, meeting each roll, fingers tangling in curls, pulling just enough to draw a whimper. The room filled with their symphony, skin slapping softly, breaths hitching, the occasional creak of the headboard against the wall. Sweat slicked them, salty on lips, and when release came it was mutual, a wave crashing over leaving them shuddering, clinging. After they lay spooned, Riley's back to Jamie's front, arm draped possessively over her waist. The moon filtered through half-drawn blinds, striping their bodies in light and shadow. Sleep tugged at edges, but Jamie's mind whirled. Victor's card a ghost on the nightstand where she tossed it. Morning light crept in, gray and hesitant, rain pattering against the window like hesitant applause. Riley stirred first, slipping out to brew coffee, the gurgle of the machine a comforting ritual. Jamie watched from bed, sheet clutched to chest, the vulnerability stark in daylight. When Riley returned, mug steaming, she sat on the edge, handing one over with a small smile. Black, 2 sugars. Your vice. Jamie sipped, the bitterness grounding, and set it aside, pulling Riley down beside her. I didn't sleep. Kept seeing his face, the money, us. She paused, breath shuddering. But mostly you. Waking up without you. It's not a life. Riley's eyes softened, hand covering Jamie's. Then don't. We fight for this. Together. Side gigs, loans from your cousin in Seattle, whatever. But no deals with devils. The simplicity pierced, a balm to the chaos. Jamie nodded, leaning in for a kiss that tasted of coffee and hope. But doubt lingered, a shadow in her gut. The day unfolded in domestic rhythm. Riley off to the cafe, bandana tied, kissing Jamie goodbye with text me later. Jamie strumming guitar, lyrics pouring out raw about choices and chains, the strings vibrating under her fingers like confessions. By afternoon, restlessness gnawed. She wandered to a record store on Melrose, vinyl stacks dusty with nostalgia, flipping through folk albums that echoed her soul. A track played overhead, Joni Mitchell's voice weaving tales of circles and rivers, and tears pricked again. Outside, the rain had stopped, streets steaming, and she found herself at a payphone, quarters clinking, dialing a number from Victor's card. Not his direct, but his assistant's, a Hail Mary bluff. Mr. Hale's unavailable, the polished voice said, but Jamie pressed, voice steady for the first time. Tell him the deal's off. No conditions. Just the music. Silence, then a chuckle. Bold. He'll counter, you know. Let him. She hung up, heart soaring, then crashing as reality bit. No safety net. But freedom, real freedom. Evening brought Riley home, arms laden with grocery bags, cheap wine peeking out. Celebration, she announced, eyes twinkling, for surviving another day in paradise. They cooked pasta, sauce bubbling with garlic and tomatoes from the corner market, steam fogging the tiny window. Over dinner, candlelight flickering from a thrift store votive. Jamie spilled it all, the bluff, the fear, the fierce love, that one. Riley listened, fork paused, then grinned wide and wicked. My badass songwriter. The night deepened, moon peeking through clouds, and they danced in the living room to a scratchy record, bodies swaying close, laughter mingling with lyrics. In bed, lovemaking was celebratory, playful bites and teasing touches leading to peaks that left them giggling, spent. But as sleep claimed Riley, Jamie lay awake, staring at the ceiling cracks like maps to uncertain futures. The choice felt right, but the world didn't bend easy. Tomorrow would test it, Victor's shadow long. Dawn broke with a vengeance, sunlight stabbing through the blinds like accusatory fingers, rousing Jamie from fitful dreams of stages crumbling under spotlights and Riley's hand slipping from hers into an abyss. She blinked against the glare, the room coming into focus. Riley still asleep beside her, lips parted in soft exhales, chest rising and falling in peaceful rhythm. The sight steadied Jamie, a quiet vow forming in the hush. No more secrets, no more trades of flesh for fleeting gold. She slipped from bed, feet patting silent on the worn rug, and brewed coffee strong enough to scour regrets. The machine gurgled, steam rising like morning mist, and she leaned against the counter, inhaling the rich, nutty aroma that promised normalcy. Her phone buzzed on the table, screen lighting with an unknown number. Heart-lurching, she snatched it up. Jamie, Victor's voice purred, smooth as oiled leather, laced with that boardroom confidence that bordered on arrogance. Heard you made a scene with my girl. Bold move. But let's talk real. Meet me. Noon. The Ivy. No strings this time, just opportunity. The line went dead before she could respond, leaving echo in her ear. Opportunity. The word slithered, tempting. A serpent in the garden of her resolve. She glanced at Riley, stirring now, stretching with a yawn that revealed the curve of her neck, inviting. "Everything okay?" Riley mumbled, voice gravelly from sleep, sitting up with sheet pooling at her waist. Jamie forced a smile, pocketing the phone like contraband. "Just a spam call. Go back to sleep, you're off today, right?" Riley nodded, but her eyes narrowed, that intuitive glint flashing. You? Gig hunting. Something like that." Jamie crossed to the bed, kneeling to kiss her, morning breath be damned, the taste familiar and grounding. Riley's arms looped around her neck, pulling deeper. A lazy tangle of tongues that stirred heat low in Jamie's belly. But the clock ticked, noon looming, and she broke away with reluctance. "Shower with me?" They did, water cascading hot from the temperamental faucet, steam fogging the mirror as bodies pressed slick under the spray. Riley's hands soaped Jamie's back, thumbs kneading knots from tense muscles, drawing sighs that mingled with the patter on tile. "You carry the world here," Riley murmured, lips brushing wet shoulder. Jamie turned, water streaming down her face, and kissed her fiercely, hands sliding over curves, fingers teasing until Riley gasped, back arching against the wall. It was quick, urgent, release shuddering through them amid laughter at slippery near falls. Dressed in towels, they ate toast slathered with peanut butter, crumbs scattering on the counter, Riley's foot hooking Jamie's calf under the table in playful anchor. By 11, Jamie was out the door, excuses of errands tasting like ash. The bus to West Hollywood bumped over potholes, her knee jiggling, mind a whirlwind. The Ivy's patio buzzed with A-listers in oversized sunglasses, waiters weaving with trays of avocado toast and chilled rose, the air perfumed with blooms from trellises heavy with pink bougainvillea. Victor sat at a corner table, shaded by umbrella, looking every inch the mogul in linen shirt unbuttoned just so, eyes scanning like a hawk spotting prey. "Jamie," he greeted, rising with a handshake that lingered, his grip firm, cologne sharp with citrus and power. "Sit. Eat. Let's make magic." She slid into the chair, wicker creaking, menu a prop in her lap. The server appeared, notepad poised, and Victor ordered for them. Salads, sparkling water, his tone proprietary. "So," he said when alone, leaning in, voice low. "The bluff was cute, but I don't bluff. $500,000 clean. Fund your demo, connect you with Grammy-winning mixers. No favors asked. $500,000. The number dangled, juicy fruit, visions of leased studios and printed CDs flooding her. But his eyes, they roamed again, lingering on her collarbone exposed by the V-neck. A reminder of strings invisible. "Why me?" she asked, fork spearing a cherry tomato juice bursting tart on her tongue. "Because you've got fire," he replied, gaze intense. "Raw, unpolished. I see potential. And I like investing in winners." His foot brushed hers under the table. "Accidental? Intentional?" She shifted, heart racing, the patio's chatter fading to white noise. They talked shop, lyrics, hooks, market trends, his passion genuine, a glimpse of the man behind the myth. Laughter came, surprising, over stories of botched launches and viral flukes. For an hour it felt like partnership, not predation. But as plates cleared, his tone shifted, hand covering hers on the table, thumb stroking knuckle. "Think about it. Dinner tonight? My place. We seal it." The touch repulsed, electric eel shock, and she yanked back, chair scraping loud enough to turn heads. "No," she said, voice steel. "I appreciate the offer, but I'm not for sale. Not pieces, not whole." Victor's smile faltered, then recovered, cool. "Pity. But doors closed, Jamie. Don't say I didn't knock." He signaled for the check, tossing cash down like dismissal. Outside, the sun-baked sidewalks, heat waves shimmering, and Jamie walked fast, breath coming in pants, adrenaline surging. She ducked into a bodega, buying a cold soda, the fizz sharp against her teeth as she chugged, leaning against a cooler humming with energy drinks. Her phone lit with Riley's text. "Lunch? Made sandwiches. Love you." Guilt twisted, sweet and sour, but triumph bloomed too. She texted back. "On my way. Can't wait." Home was sanctuary, Riley waiting on the stoop, paper bags crinkling, her smile sunbright. They ate on the fire escape, turkey and avocado on rye, legs dangling over the edge, watching kids kick soccer balls in the street below. Spill the errands, Riley prodded, mustard at her lip, Jamie wiping it with thumb licking clean. Just cleared my head, Jamie said, truthful at last. Met with that producer guy. Turned down his deal. Riley's eyes widened, sandwich pausing mid-bite. The $1 million snake? Jay, that's huge. Scary huge. Jamie shrugged, but inside elation swelled. Worth it. For us. She leaned in, kissing crumb from Riley's cheek, the gesture sparking deeper hunger. Afternoon melted into siesta. Bodies entwined on the couch. Movie flickering ignored on the TV. Hands wandering lazy under clothes. Riley's touches were exploratory. Nails grazing inner thighs. Drawing hitched breaths and murmured please. Tell me what you want, she whispered, voice husky, fingers circling teasingly. You, Jamie gasped, guiding her hand, hips bucking as pleasure coiled tight. Release came in waves, Riley's name a chant on her lips, followed by reciprocation, Jamie's mouth worshipping, tongue delving until Riley shattered, thighs quivering, a cry muffled in pillow. Dusk fell soft, painting skies in lavender, and they ventured out for gelato, cones dripping pistachio and stracciatella, strolling hand in hand through the neighborhood's vibrant chaos. Taquerias spilling salsa rhythms, murals of fierce Chicana icons watching over. At a corner park they claimed a bench under jacaranda trees, blossoms purple carpet at feet, the air sweet with their decay. Riley leaned head on Jamie's shoulder. Cone finished, sticky fingers interlaced. I'm proud of you. Choosing us. It's brave. Jamie kissed her temple, inhaling shampoo-scented curls. Could have lost you. Won't risk that again. But as stars pricked the velvet sky, Victor's words echoed, doors close. A shadow of doubt crept, the moon rising slow, a silent sentinel to battles ahead. Night wrapped them back home to candlelit bath, bubbles foaming lavender-scented, legs tangled in tub, water sloshing with giggles and sighs. Love-making emerged slow, water-lapped, Riley straddling in the porcelain confines, rocking with deliberate grace, Jamie's hands on hips guiding, moans echoing off tiles. Climax synced, a shared crest, leaving them pruned and blissful. In bed, moonlight spilling, Riley traced Jamie's jaw. Whatever comes, we're unbreakable. Jamie held her closer, believing almost, but sleep brought dreams of locked doors, echoing stages empty, the choices echo a haunting refrain. The week unfurled like a tentative melody, notes of normalcy strung between lingering doubts, the city's relentless hum a backdrop to Jamie and Riley's fragile harmony. Monday morning clanged in with the alarm's shrill wail, yanking Jamie from dreams of moonlit ledges and Victor's shadow looming large. She slapped it silent, groaning, the pillow muffling her curse as Riley stirred beside her, arm flopping possessively over Jamie's waist. 5 more minutes, Riley mumbled, voice thick with sleep, nuzzling into Jamie's neck, warm breath tickling skin. The intimacy anchored her, a soft tether against the pull of what-ifs, and Jamie turned, capturing lips in a lazy kiss that tasted of last night's Merlot and unspoken fears. They rose eventually, ritual unfolding. Coffee brewing dark and bold, toast popping golden, the kitchen filling with sizzle of eggs in the cast-iron pan Riley swore by. Sunlight slanted through the window, gilding dust motes in dance, and for a moment it felt conquerable. The bills stacked on the counter, the eviction notice crumpled in the trash from last month's scare. Got a double shift, Riley said over bites, ketchup smudged on her chin, Jamie wiping it with napkin lingering touch. But tonight? Date night. That Italian hole-in-the-wall on Vermont. My treat. Tips were killer yesterday. Jamie grinned, heart swelling at the normalcy, the promise. Deal. I'll write a song about carb comas. But as Riley kissed her goodbye, door clicking shut, solitude descended, heavy as the guitar case by the couch. She strummed idly at first, fingers callous from strings finding chords that bled emotion. Minor keys for the ache of temptation, majors resolving to fragile hope. Lyrics spilled onto notebook pages, ink smearing under sweaty palm. Moonlight bargains, lovers' arms trading stars for open scars. The words raw, cathartic, but midway her phone trilled, shattering focus. Unknown number. Victor again? She answered, voice wary. Yeah. Jamie Reese? This is Lena from Silver Screen Studios. The woman's tone was brisk, efficient, laced with West Coast polish. Victor Hale referred you. Said you've got pipes. Audition tomorrow, 10 a.m. Scripted demo, ballad for a rom-com soundtrack. Interested? Jamie's breath caught, pulse skittering like a snare drum. Referral. Clean, no strings? Or bait? Referred how? She probed, pen tapping frantic rhythm on thigh. Lena laughed light. Heard your open mic clip online. Said you're gold. No pressure, just show. She hung up, staring at the phone, triumph and suspicion warring. A foot in the door legitimate. But Victor's hand unseen guiding. She texted Riley. Audition tomorrow. Big studio. Pinch me. Riley's reply buzzed instant. Pinch. Holy shit, Jay. Dinner celebration X1000. Love you fierce. The day blurred into productivity. Jamie rehearsing in the mirror. Voice echoing off bathroom tiles. Hitting high notes that shivered glass. Afternoon brought a walk to the post office. Mailing demo CDs to long-shot labels. The clerk stamp thudding finality. Evening arrived with Riley, flushed from rush hour. Arms wrapping tight, spinning Jamie in hug. My star. The Italian spot was cozy, checkered cloths and Chianti bottles as candles, garlic and basil heavy in air. They split pasta carbonara, creamy and indulgent, wine loosening tongues for stories. Riley's disastrous latte art fail. A customer's pickup line shot down with wit. Jamie's song snippet, sung low over tiramisu, Riley's eyes misty, hands squeezing under table. Walking home, bellies full, streetlights casting halos, they paused under a pepper tree, branches drooping like weary arms. Riley backed Jamie against trunk, kiss deepening, hands roaming hips, igniting spark in the cool night. Take me home, Riley whispered, teeth nipping earlobe, sending shivers. They barely made the door, clothes shedding in frenzy, hallway littered with bra and jeans. In bed, urgency reigned. Riley pushing Jamie down, mouth trailing fire from throat to navel, tongue delving, teasing, drawing arches and pleas. More, Jamie gasped, fingers fisting sheets, climax building like crescendo, crashing in white-hot release. She flipped them, returning favor, lips and fingers worshipping. Riley's cries music, body bowing taut before shattering. Spent, they curled, breath sinking, moon watching through cracked window. This is it, Riley murmured, tracing Jamie's tattoo. A tiny key on her wrist, inked for unlocking hearts. Our breakthrough. Jamie nodded, throat tight but sleep evaded, audition looming like judgment. Morning came crisp, nerves jangling as Jamie dressed in borrowed blouse, ironed hasty, hair tamed into waves. Riley saw her off at the door, kiss lingering. Breathe. You're magic. The bus ride to Burbank was torture. Traffic snarling. Her rehearsing lyrics under breath, palms damp. Silver screen's lot gleamed sterile. Glass towers reflecting palms. Security buzzing her in with clipped efficiency. The audition room was sparse. Piano in corner, mic stand gleaming, panel of suits behind table, faces impassive. Lena greeted, handshake firm. Whenever you're ready. She stepped to mic, heart thundering, closed eyes summoning Riley's face. Voice emerged clear, husky with emotion. Ballad weaving tale of love's crossroads. Notes soaring, dipping, raw vulnerability cracking on the bridge. Silence followed, thick. Then applause, sparse but genuine. Impressive, the director said, scribble on pad. Call back next week. We'll be in touch. Elation bubbled as she exited, sun warm on face but phone vibrated. Victor's text. Told you. Dinner to celebrate? My treat. Revulsion surged, deleting swift. Clean break? Or hook sinking deeper? She called Riley, voice breathless. Nailed it. Call back. Screams echoed through line, Riley's joy infectious. Home now. Champagne dreams. But en route, a detour. Coffee shop near lot, steam rising from vents. She overheard whispers at counter. Victor's scandals, hushed tales of careers launched, then torpedoed for non-compliance. Paranoia prickled but resolve hardened. No deals. Home was chaos joyful. Riley baking cookies, kitchen flour dusted, oven timer beeping. They devoured warm chocolate chips, crumbs on laps, feet tangled on couch. Details, Riley demanded, eyes alight. Jamie recounted, embellishing panels are, Riley laughing till tears, pulling her into lap for kiss that sweetened to heat. Hands slipped under shirts, caresses familiar, building slow amid cookie scent. To bedroom, undressing deliberate, Riley's mouth on breasts, sucking gentle, Jamie moaning low, fingers and curls guiding lower. Pleasure mounted, Riley's tongue expert, circling, thrusting, until Jamie came undone, vision blurring stars. Reciprocal, Jamie explored, fingers curling inside, thumb on clit, Riley writhing, gasps crescendoing to cry, body clenching in ecstasy. Night deepened, moon full again, silvering sheets. They talked futures, wild plans, tour van, art shows synced with gigs. But Jamie's callback loomed. Victor's shadow faint but persistent. Sleep came, Riley's heartbeat lullaby. Yet dreams twisted. Success souring, love fracturing under spotlights. Midweek brought grind. Riley's shift extended. Jamie busking on 3rd Street Promenade. Guitar case filling slow with bills. Voice carrying over tourist chatter. Tips bought falafel. Eaten on bench, salt and tahini on fingers. Watching sunset bleed pink over ocean. Phone pinged Lena. Callback confirmed. Prep something original. Excitement warred with fear. Victor's silence ominous. Dinner that night. Takeout sushi on floor. Unrolling maki with chopsticks, soy dipping sharp. Riley sketched Jamie mid-bite. Caricature exaggerated, laughter bubbling. Post-meal, bath drawn hot, salts fizzing eucalyptus. They soaked facing, knees bumping, toes tracing calves. Kisses escalated, water sloshing. Riley's hand between thighs, stroking languid, Jamie's head falling back. Moans echoing. Orgasm rippled gentle, then Jamie's turn, fingers plunging. Riley biting lip to stifle screams. Bed claimed them, limbs entwined, moon's gaze benevolent. We're winning, Riley whispered. Jamie clung tighter, willing belief. But dawn whispered warnings, the choices echo a persistent drum. Friday's callback dawned electric, air crackling with possibility, the kind that made LA's smog seem like stardust. Jamie woke to Riley's alarm, the insistent beeps slicing through dreams of applause thundering like ocean waves. She rolled over, finding Riley already up, humming as she blended smoothies, the whir of blades a cheerful grind against nerves. Banana mango power-up, Riley announced, handing over a glass, condensation slick, pulp clinging to rim. The taste exploded, tropical, sweet tang cutting through Jamie's dry mouth. Riley leaned against counter, hip cocked, eyes devouring. You look like a rock star. Go own that room. Jamie set glass down, pulling her close, kiss fierce, hands framing face. Couldn't without you. The words truth, anchor and storm. Dressed in slim jeans and silk blouse borrowed from Riley's artsy friend, she caught bus to Burbank, window seat framing sprawl. Freeways snaking, billboards hawking dreams. Studio loomed larger today, security nod familiar. Halls buzzing with crew hauling cables, coffee steam trailing. Lena met her. Clipboard in hand, smile genuine. Original piece? Bold. Room 3. The space hummed. Better lighting, grand piano polished to gleam, panel expanded. Suits plus a composer with salt and pepper beard, eyes sharp. Whenever, he said, gesture to Mike. Jamie settled stool, guitar slung, fingers plucking intro soft, notes trembling air like tentative breaths. Voice joined, original under the moon. Lyrics pouring confession. Bargains whispered in silver light. Love's pull stronger than gold chains. She poured soul, voice cracking authentic on bridge. Eyes closing to summon Riley's touch, the safe harbor of their bed. Final chord hung, resonant, silence stretching eternal. Then the composer leaned forward, scribble pausing. That's visceral. Callback gold. We need that fire for the soundtrack. Elation surged, panel murmurs approval. Lena's thumbs up flashing. We'll call Monday. Prep for full band red. Outside, sun-high heat baking asphalt. Jamie danced literal jig on sidewalk, strangers smiling indulgent. Phone out, dialing Riley mid-stride. They loved it. Full band next. Riley's whoop deafened static joy. Bab. Homestat. Popcorn and pride parade. Bus back flew, city blurring benevolent. Apartment door burst open to Riley's arms, lifting off feet, spin dizzying laughter spilling. Details every one. Over microwave popcorn, kernels popping erratic like fireworks. Jamie reenacted, voice rising dramatic. Riley gasping theatrical, hand to chest. You're unstoppable, she said. Eyes shining, pulling Jamie onto lap. Kiss deepening amid buttery fingers. Heat built natural popcorn bowl tipping forgotten body shifting to floor rug rough under knees. Riley peeled blouse slow mouth following path. Nipples hardening under tongue flicks, Jamie arching hiss escaping. Hands fumbled jeans zipper rasping fingers delving warm wet. Circling deliberate, thrust sinking gasps. Climax neared Jamie's turn, pushing Riley back straddling grinding against thigh while mouth claims breast. Sucking hard Riley's nails raking back, cry peaking sharp. They switched Riley's fingers expert, curling just so Jamie shattering vision white body convulsing. Collapsed panting popcorn crunching under shoulders, they giggled feeding each other stray kernels, salt on lips kissed away. Afternoon lazed. Nap tangled waking to rain pattering sudden gray skies romantic. Riley sketched by window Jamie strumming soft, harmony domestic. Evening out. Dive bar trivia teams hollering answers, beers sweating rings on coasters. They dominated music round high five sticky, Riley's trivia nerd shining. Walk home tipsy arms linked, rain misting faces, kissing under awning tongues tangling cool. Bed welcomed love-making tender post-alcohol glow. Slow undress, candle flicker from kitchen shadows dancing walls. Riley on side Jamie spooning hand slipping front, fingers stroking lazy breath sinking sighs. Penetration gentle rocking rhythm whispers love you mantra. Release mutual soft waves lapping. Moon rose clear, silvering rain-streaked window. This is our song now, Riley murmured tracing lyrics tattooed mental. Jamie nodded, chest full but phone glowed silent, no victor. Relief? Omen? Sleep claimed, dreams sweet, stages shared with Riley center stage. Weekend blurred bliss. Saturday market, farmer stalls bursting color, strawberries juicy red, bitten sharing juice dribble kisses. Home baking bread, yeast rising warm dough kneaded hands-on flour dusting noses. Afternoon hike Griffith trails views sprawling city at feet. Sweat slicking skin, pauses for kisses against oak's bark rough back. Peak, sunset overlook, sky aflame orange crimson. Riley's head shoulder. We're infinite here. Descent twilight, fireflies rare urban wink. Night, homemade pizza cheese stretching gooey wine flowing loose. Post-dinner couch tangle hands wandering Riley's mouth lower. Belt unbuckled slow tongue swirling head. Jamie groaning deep fingers guiding. Throat working suction building release spilling hot. Jamie's turn. Reciprocating fervent. Riley's thighs clamp. Moans crescendo. Sunday lazy. Brunch crepes fruit piled rainbow. Syrup sticky fingers licked clean. Park picnic blanket spread grass. Books swapped fingers tracing spines. Dusk home bath drawn. Oil swirling sandalwood bodies submerged. Legs draped toes teasing. Arousal simmered Riley's hand underwater, stroking firm, Jamie's gasp steaming air, climax bubbling surface. Bed moon witness lovemaking exploratory. Toys from drawer vibrator hum low Riley wielding, buzzing clit while fingers thrust, Jamie writhing screams muffled pillow. Switch Jamie strapping on harness snug entering slow Riley's eyes locked, yes, hips meeting slap wet, pace building frantic dual peaks shuddering. Monday loomed band red but weekend fortified, love's rhythm steady. Victor faded ghost, choice under moon solidified steel. Yet city whispered challenges bills mounting dreams demanding proof. Monday's band red crackled anticipation. LA's perpetual promise hanging thick as the marine layer clinging to hills. Jamie rose early, nerves a live wire under skin. Riley's kiss goodbye lingering like luck charm. Coffee mug pressed warm into hands. Kill it, Riley said, doorframe lean, eyes fierce pride. Bus to studio swallowed her. Seats sticky vinyl, mind rehearsing riffs, lyrics looping mantra. Lena greeted harried, headset mic curling ear. Full setup today. Drummer's a beast, keep up. Room pulsed. Amps humming low, bass thump testing speakers, drummer twirling sticks flashy. Musicians nodded casual, intros quick. Guitarist tattooed sleeves, bassist cool aloof. They jammed first, covers warming. Fleetwood Mac groove, Jamie's voice soaring harmonies, syncing effortless. Then original, Under the Moon. Band layering texture. Drums pulse heartbeat, bass underscoring ache, guitar weeping bends. Jamie fronted raw, eyes closed channeling Riley's touch, vulnerability cracking voice gold. Break, composers nod approving. Magic. Fits the film's arc, love's gamble. Revisions tweaked, retake polished, sweat beading brow, strings slick fingers. Wrap early, Lena's contract talks Wednesday, Buzzkill tease. Outside, elation propelled, texting Riley mid-stride. Band's in love. Contract soon. Reply instant, hearts exploding. Cab splurge home, window down, wind whipping hair. City alive, benevolent. Apartment erupted confetti. Streamers, Riley strung hasty, hugging fierce, lifting spin. Details, babe. Over takeout tie, spicy pad, CW steaming. Jamie animated, mimicking drummer's flair. Riley laughing tears, chopsticks clacking applause. Post-dinner, energy electric. Dance kitchen to phone playlist, hips swaying sync, hands roaming waist, kiss igniting. To couch, Riley straddling, grinding denim friction, blouses shed, breasts pressing, nipples hard peaks. Fingers unbutton jeans, delving slick, circling thumb, Jamie bucking, moans low. Release quick, shuddering, Riley's turn, Jamie's mouth latching thigh, tongue plunging. Riley grinding face, climax flooding taste. Night deepened, moon crescent sly, bed claiming slow lovemaking. Missionary tender, eyes locked, Jamie entering fingers deep, rocking gentle, Riley's legs wrap, heels digging back. Whispers build, forever, peaks sinking soft. Tuesday tempered high, job hunt, Jamie temping agency, typing resumed sterile office, coffee bitter vending. Riley's shift dragged, text chain flirty, thinking dirty apron thoughts. Evening reunion. Shared shower, soap lathering mutual, hands slippery explore, quickies against wall, water rinsing sins. Wednesday contract day dawned ominous, clouds brooding. Studio meeting formal. Lena plus suits, papers thick stack. Terms glowed. Advance modest, royalties fair, soundtrack credit prominent. But clause nagged, approval rights vague artistic direction. Victor's echo? She queried, Lena waving. Standard. Hale's not involved. Signed pen scratch satisfying, copies clutch treasure. Call Riley mid-sign. It's real. Scream echoed hall. Home champagne popped fizzy, spills giggling cleanup. Dinner steak seared rare, juice pink plate, wine toasting. Post-meal balcony perch, city lights winking, Riley's hand thigh stroking up, fingers teasing edge. Inside bedroom dim, undress ritual. Blouse unbuttoned slow, skirt pooling, Riley kneeling, mouth worshipping core, tongue flat laps, Jamie standing quiver, hands fisting curls, release knees buckling. Bed, Riley harnessed, Jamie riding reverse, back arch view. Hands gripping hips guide bounce, slap skin rhythmic. Climax mutual, cries harmonizing. Weak blurred momentum. Promo photos, Jamie posed edgy lofts, lights hot flash, makeup smoky eyes. Riley tagged one, sketching set, pride beaming. Gigs booked small venues, crowds intimate, cheers fuel. But shadow crept. Mail brought notice, rent hike sharp, advance delayed payout. Worry nipped, dinner tense over ramen, Riley's will manage strained. Friday relief. Check deposited, first royalties trickle. Splurge dinner rooftop bistro, skyline vista, steaks juicy, candle flame dance. Tipsy descent, cab home heated. Kisses backseat, driver glance averted. Apartment frenzy. Door slam, clothes rip, hallway fuck against wall. Riley lifted legs wrap, Jamie fingers thrust frantic, gasps echo. Bed marathon, positions shift, 69 mutual devour. Tongues fingers sync, peaks chained breathless. Moon watched wane, love fortified. But Victor call came Saturday, voice silk. Congrats. But bigger stages await. My network. Decline polite, hang swift. Riley sensed, hold tighter. No ghosts. Hike Sunday, trails mud post-rain. Hands clasped muddied, summit view cathartic. Picnic cheese crackers, wine flask warm. Descent playful chase, tackles grass, rolling tangle, kisses earth-scented. Night bath, bubbles eucalyptus, toys submerged, vibrator buzz Riley's hand. Jamie's clip pulse, fingers penetrate, water slosh waves. Climax splash, laughter follow. Bed spooned, Riley's proud whisper. Jamie slept sound, dream stages filled, Riley spotlight shared. Momentum built but city's teeth gnashed. Gig heckled, review snide online. Riley's comfort bomb, lovemaking salve. Slow oral hours edging, peaks earned explosive. Month turned, soundtrack dropped, snippet viral, streams climbing. Interview radio, voice steady, crediting my muse. Riley listen work, tears text. Celebration club. Dance floor sweat. Bodies grind beat. Hands possessive. Bathroom stall quickie, Riley's fingers wall pinned. Jamie muffling moans door. Home dawn, exhausted sated. Moon cycled, choice under at anchor. Love's drama crescendoing meaningful. Fractures mending stronger. The moon cycled back to fullness 2 months later. A silver sentinel over the Hollywood hills, where Jamie and Riley's world had tilted from precarious perch to fragile ascent. The soundtrack single, Under the Moon, had cracked charts, radio spins weaving their story into car stereos and late-night drives. Lyrics of choice and embrace resonating like unintended anthem. Advance checks cleared rent, stocked fridge with organics, even funded Riley's first gallery submission. Sketches of urban lovers framed bold. But success's edge sharpened doubts, paparazzi flashes at gigs turning crowds curious, whispers of who's the girl, trailing Jamie's exits. Victor lurked periphery, emails congrats, let's collaborate, deleted unread. Riley bore it graceful but strain showed. Late nights alone while Jamie networked, cafe shifts clinging despite Jamie's pleas to quit. Tonight, premiere afterparty loomed. Invitation gold embossed for the film's LA debut. Jamie paced apartment, dress crimson silk clinging curves, heels wobbling unaccustomed. You sure about this? She asked Riley, mirror reflection anxious. Makeup flawless but eyes shadowed. Riley in black sheath elegant, curls pinned loose, stepped behind, arms circling waist, chin shoulder. Gorgeous. And yes, your night. We're in it together. Kiss neck, warm promise, hand smoothing fabric, lingering hips. Limo arrived, sleek, driver door, whisking to theater, velvet ropes, flashes blinding, questions barked. Jamie solo or seeing someone? Arm linked, Riley's smile defiant. With my heart. Inside, film rolled emotional. Rom-com twists mirroring life. Their song cueing tearjerk climax, applause swelling. After-party rooftop, skyline glittering, champagne flutes clinking, industry schmooze thick. Jamie navigated, Riley anchor. Charming execs with wit. Sketches shared, phone eliciting, talent runs deep. Victor cornered, eventual, suit crisp, smile shark. Knew you'd shine. But solo act? My label offers global. Eyes Riley dismissive flick. Baggage slows. Rage flared, Jamie's grip, Riley's tightening. She's my strength. Pass. Walk away, back straight, Riley's proud squeeze. Night peak dance floor, strings quartet swelling. Jamie pulling Riley close, sway slow amid whirl. Chose right. Jamie whispered, ear breath hot. You. Riley's eyes glistened, hand nape. Kiss deepening, world fading. Always. Home pre-dawn, limo drop. Door fumble, keys, laughter spilling. Dress unzipped slow, pooling red, Riley's mouth following, spine, knees buckle. Bed, urgency post-adrenaline. Riley top, thigh between legs grinding, friction silk. Jamie's hands breast knead, nipples pinch, draw gasp. Fingers join, plunging wet. Curl G-spot. Thumb clit circle, pace frantic, Jamie climax first, cry raw, body convulse. Reciprocate, Jamie flip, mouth trail, inner thigh bite, gentle, tongue delve, fold, suck, clit pulse, fingers thrust, sink. Riley arch, fist sheets white. Yes. Peak shatter, thighs quake, face. Collapsed sweat cooling breaths ragged, moon through window benediction. Meaning, Riley murmured finger-traced jaw. Our choice worth every scar. Jamie nodded, tears salt lips kissed away. Dawn crept, city hush, future open. Tours plan tandem, Riley's art sinking stops. Love's drama resolved not end but deepening verse. Months folded. Album drop chart top, arenas echo cheers, Riley stage side sketches live. Challenges came, tabloid rumors, family strains, but under each moon reaffirm. Choice her night endless. 1 year mark, Big Sur return, beach bonfire crackle, waves crash eternal. Blanket wrapped, guitar strum soft, song new, moon's witness, vow eternal. Lovemaking sand dune hidden, stars blanket, bodies merge salt spray, peaks cosmic. Back LA life woven. Home bought hills, studio corner, Riley's easel. Victor faded footnote, empire theirs built honest. Under moon eternal, choice echoed meaningful. Love's offer richest, chosen true.